Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week we are doing a what I eat in a week. I just got a text from Walmart that my groceries are ready, so I thought this was a good time to just update you on what's going on this week. What I eat in a week videos or what I eat in a day videos are some of my favorite ones to watch, so I thought it'd be fun to take you along with me on my week as I'm trying to just get back in the swing of being healthy and making good food at home. Usually I plan out all my meals for the week and then I order groceries ahead online. One, because that helps me with my budget just to stick into what I'm trying to spend on groceries, but two, also I'm just a planner and so I like to know what's going on, and it's more helpful to buy the specific groceries that I need for specific meals than just buying random stuff for me personally. So let's go pick up our groceries and continue with the day. Let's hit the road. Just a couple things I forgot to grab. So we're gonna head inside. Got to get some fruit, some veggies, and maybe laundry detergent. So here we go. I love ordering my groceries ahead online. It's super helpful and makes things really efficient for when I'm just going through town. I can stop by and pick up my order. You do have to place it ahead of time for it to be ready on time, but super helpful. Also helps me not to buy things that I don't need because I could just put what's on my list in my cart and check out with that. Also, I did just want to share that we do live with my in-laws right now, and so this is their house. So we share the space, we share the kitchen, and we share some of the food stuff. So I do buy most of our own groceries, but there are a few things that we share with them. Also today for lunch, I ended up going out to eat. We don't do this super often, but I was meeting up with some students that I do Bible study with because they didn't have school, so we decided to go out. Mondays have kind of become my reset and prep day for the week since we usually have stuff going on Saturdays, and we try to keep Sundays as our Sabbath just to take intentional time to rest. So Mondays are now my meal prep and grocery day. Meal prepping is a little bit newish to me. I haven't done it consistently ever, and now it's been a couple weeks of this, and honestly it's been so helpful. Helps things run super smoothly for me the rest of the week. I can just grab something and go. I also love to watch YouTube videos while I cook to catch up on the different stuff that I have in my watch later, so you'll see a big variety of creators that I watch regularly in this video. But right now, chicken salad has been a staple meal prep lunch for me, and this is one of the few things that I have meal prepped semi-consistently in the past. So I put the chicken in the oven while I prepped everything else for the chicken salad. It's easy because you can eat it cold, and I usually eat it with crackers or veggies, and honestly I haven't got tired of it yet, so you guys need to try it. I'll write down what I usually put in mine. There's not necessarily specific measurements. I tried to measure stuff out for you here, but anyways, it's really, really good, and I think you need to try it. Now, this is my second time trying these chicken nuggets from Cambria Joy's cookbook. It's called Well. You can find it on her website. But the first time I used canned chicken because I think that's what the recipe says to use, but this time I decided to use ground chicken instead. It was way easier to mix the mixture together. I would still like to nail down the exterior, kind of like a crumb coat, I guess. And you'll see it later, but they look a little bit funny. But they tasted delicious, so I do recommend. Also, Cambria's cookbook Well is one of my favorites. There's so many recipes out of there that I love. Now that I've taken the chicken out, I'm going to be prepping some Greek yogurt bagels that I made for the first time last week. I'll also write the measurements for this in the description, but these really surprised me. I would describe the texture more like a cross between a bagel and a biscuit, but I kind of love that better than a normal bagel. I didn't have super high hopes for this recipe, but when we tried it last week when some friends were visiting, now I'm making it every week. It's so good. So I'm setting those off to the side. They need to sit for a little bit, and I'm going to get started on dinner. It's getting a little bit late in the evening, so I need to put the soup on the stove. So this soup is one of my top 3 favorite soups that I've been rotating through this winter. Everything by Half Baked Harvest is phenomenal, but this has become something that my husband asks for pretty regularly. So you can see me switching back and forth between different recipes that I've been working on, and instead of cooking each of the foods one at a time while I'm meal prepping, I wrote out a schedule and different steps to help me work through it more efficiently, since some things need to go in the oven and then come out and cool down before they're ready for the next step. So I would encourage you to think through the timings of the different recipes you're making when you're meal prepping and try to line up the steps to fill in those spots where you might need to be waiting. For example, I put the chicken for my chicken salad in the oven right away before I started chopping everything up, and then I prepped the chicken nuggets to go in as soon as the other chicken was done. And then once my bagels needed to sit and rest and rise for a little bit, I got started on dinner. I found that this helps me a lot to be the most efficient with my time, and then nothing is sitting for too long. Okay, so now you can see me shaping the bagels, and I did do an egg wash on these to get a little bit of a crust on the outside. And then we're going back to the chicken salad where I'm just shredding the chicken, and we're speeding it up because this takes a long time. And just mixing that up, getting all the stuff ready to go into the fridge. Before we eat dinner, our soup is almost done, and then we're gonna just take a little bit pause because it's getting a little dark out, and we're just gonna sit down and eat our dinner before I finish meal prepping the last thing that I needed to do. Also, look at those bagels. They're so good. They're so good. You guys have to try them. You need to try them right now. Okay, so I'm just putting our leftover soup in the fridge as another meal prep item for the week that we can just grab and go if we need to. And then the last thing that I want to meal prep for this week is a new recipe to me from a girl that I follow on Instagram, but we're going to be prepping some peanut butter chocolate protein bars. I'm using some Equip protein, has a lot of protein in it, super great. I'm loving this brand so far. And I also love the Hue chocolate because it has a low ingredient count and is made with coconut sugar, and in my opinion, it honestly tastes better than most of the other chocolates that you buy at the store. I know that might be a personal thing, but you should definitely try them. They're super, super good. So I'm just melting this down to cover the top of our bars, and also sea salt is a necessary thing on anything with chocolate. It makes it taste so much better. It's the end of the night, so I'm just popping in some chocolate chip cookies in the oven that I made and froze last week. Having frozen cookie dough that I made myself was so nice, and it was so easy because when there's only 2 of us, it helps us to have more self-control with the cookies when we only bake 2 at a time. When there's a whole tray of cookies, it's hard to say no. Good morning again. It's Tuesday. If I'm not watching a video while I'm cooking, I am usually on the phone with a friend or a family member, and this morning it was my mom, just catching up from the weekend. Tuesdays for us are usually our busiest day. We have a lot of meetings, and we also have our small group for church usually that evening. So breakfast is something simple and quick for me. I also am going to be taking my coffee on the go for this, so we'll be making that in a little bit. Okay, this is my current coffee fixation right now. I have seriously been making it almost every day. It's so good and you need to try it. I've said that about so many things in this video, but this really is. If you try one thing, try this. I can't take credit for it. I got it from Brianna K on YouTube/Instagram. It is a salted honey shaken espresso. Shake it up in your mason jar. I actually prefer to drink it out of a mason jar, but like I said, we gotta go do stuff, so I'm taking it with me. Anyways, like I said, we are on the go for Tuesdays, so I'm so glad that I meal prepped. It made it super easy to get out the door in the morning, and I just packed up a little chicken nuggets there and some veggies. Tonight my plan was to make chicken parm for dinner, and when I started making it, I actually realized that I didn't have any red sauce, so I had to improvise and decided to use pesto instead. It was super yummy, but this is your reminder to check your pantry for the ingredients you need before you order your groceries, because I obviously did not do that. This salad has also been a go-to over the past 6 months. My friend Courtney, who also happens to be on YouTube, sent it to me, and now it is one of my staple sides. So easy, so yummy, and it pretty much goes with any kind of main dish. I know that some people are able to eat the same things every day, but I am not one of those people. I love variety, I love trying new recipes, and I have over 8,000 pins on my Pinterest board right now, for food specifically, if that tells you anything. I obviously haven't tried them all, but the only exception for this is my breakfast-ish. You'll see that I have scrambled eggs a lot and fruit, but there are definitely times that I get the egg ick. If you know, you know, and I need to eat something else. But eggs are usually the easiest way to get protein in the morning right now, and because it's still pretty cold in Minnesota, I'm not really making smoothies very often. I know when I talk about what I'm making and the ingredients that I want to be using, I can sound a little bit like a health freak, but this is actually something I've struggled with a lot since moving out of my parents' house. When I stopped having my high school body and being active in sports and walking around to class every day, I started having a harder time being really intentional about healthy choices. I logically know the things that I should be doing or what I should be eating, but balancing them together along with everything else going on in life has been a really big issue for me. I don't have a consistent habit of exercising. I work mostly at my computer, so I'm not walking around very much during the day. And even when I try to make healthy food, often when you put them all next to each other, the food for the whole day isn't very balanced or hitting certain nutrients that I'm lacking in. I want to be someone that values health highly, but I often let things get in the way. Or if I'm being honest, sometimes I'm just choosing to be lazy and lacking in self-discipline. I want this year to be different. This year, I want to remember that God gave me the body that I have to accomplish good things. We had a gift card to our favorite coffee shop on Thursday, so we went to work from there and to try out their new breakfast sandwich. But then that night, my father-in-law actually cooked dinner for us, so I didn't get a clip of it. On Friday, I repeated my staple breakfast, but made a matcha instead of coffee, had those leftovers, and then wrapped it up with a taco bowl, which is another staple meal for us. Also, Harrison loves my cooking, as you can see. So whether you eat or drink, or whatever you do all for the glory of God. Thank you so much for tagging along with me this week. I hope that you've gotten some inspiration for your own meals, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, friends.